What if I told you that the secret to younger looking hands has been sitting inside your bathroom cabinet and your kitchen pantry this whole time? Most women over 60 spend hundreds of dollars every year on hand creams, serums and anti-aging treatments, and yet their hands still tell a story they didn't ask to share. But today, everything changes. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why your hands age faster than your face, what's actually happening beneath the skin as you get older, and how a surprisingly simple combination of two everyday ingredients, NIVEA cream and baking soda, can genuinely transform the texture, tone, and appearance of your hands. Stick with me until the very end, because the last tip I share is the one most women completely overlook, and it makes all the difference. Let's start with something that doesn't get talked about enough. Your hands are one of the very first places on your body to reveal your true age, and in many cases they reveal it even faster than your face. Why? Because while most women invest in sunscreen for their face, moisturizer for their face, and serums for their face, the hands are left largely unprotected, day after day, year after year. They're exposed to UV radiation, harsh soaps, cleaning chemicals, hot water, cold wind, and constant physical work without ever getting the same level of care and attention that the face receives. The result is dramatic. The skin on the back of your hands becomes thin, dry, and crepey. Dark spots begin to appear. Veins become more prominent because the layer of fat beneath the skin that used to cushion and plump everything disappears with age. Fine lines deepen into wrinkles, and the skin loses its ability to bounce back the way it did when you were in your 30s or 40s. Now, here's what's happening on a biological level. Because understanding this is the foundation for understanding why the NIVEA and baking soda ritual actually works so well. As we age, our bodies produce significantly less collagen and elastin. Collagen is the structural protein that gives skin its firmness and density. Elastin is what allows skin to snap back into place after it's been stretched or moved. After the age of 25, collagen production begins to decline, and by the time a woman reaches her 60s, she has lost a substantial portion of the collagen that once kept her skin smooth and taut. At the same time, the skin's natural ability to retain moisture diminishes. The cells that were once plump and hydrated become flat and dehydrated. The lipid barrier, the thin protective layer of natural fats on the surface of your skin, weakens, which means moisture escapes more easily and environmental irritants get in more readily. This is why the hands of a woman in her 60s can look and feel so dramatically different from the hands of a woman in her 30s, even if they've lived virtually the same lifestyle. There's also the issue of dead skin cell buildup. In younger skin, cell turnover happens on a fairly regular cycle. Fresh new cells rise to the surface and old dead cells shed naturally. But as we age, that process slows down considerably. Dead skin cells accumulate on the surface of the hands, making the skin look dull, rough, ashy and uneven. No amount of moisturizer will fully penetrate through that layer of dead skin cells and deliver its benefits to the living tissue below. This is one of the most important and overlooked reasons why so many women feel like their hand creams aren't working, and it's the key reason why the first step in this ritual involves baking soda. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is one of the most gentle yet effective natural exfoliants available to us. When mixed to the right consistency and applied to the skin with light circular movements, baking soda physically lifts and removes that buildup of dead skin cells, clearing the path for everything that comes after it. But what makes baking soda particularly interesting for this use is not just its physical exfoliating action. Baking soda is also mildly alkaline, which helps to neutralize excess acidity on the surface of the skin. Now, this does need a word of caution. Skin naturally has a slightly acidic pH, and that acidity is part of what protects it. So baking soda should never be used daily, and it should always be followed immediately by a good moisturizer. In this ritual, it's used once or twice per week, which is exactly the right frequency to get the benefits of exfoliation without disrupting the skin's natural balance. And because the NIVEA cream follows immediately, the skin's moisture barrier is restored and supported right away. Now let's talk about NIVEA cream itself, because this is not just any moisturizer. The classic NIVEA cream in the blue tin, the one that has been around since 1911, is a beautifully formulated emollient that contains a powerful combination of ingredients that work in harmony with aging skin. The primary ingredient is eucerin, which is a patented water-binding ingredient that allows NIVEA cream to create an incredibly effective moisture barrier on the surface of the skin. This means that once NIVEA is applied, it locks moisture into the skin and prevents it from evaporating away throughout the day. For women over 60 whose lipid barrier has weakened significantly, this kind of occlusive moisturising is not just helpful, it's essential. NIVEA cream also contains glycerin, which is what's known as a humectant. While Eucerin locks moisture in from the outside, glycerin works by drawing moisture up from the deeper layers of the skin and holding it in the surface layers. These two mechanisms working together, humectancy from the glycerin and occlusion from the Eucerin, make NIVEA cream one of the most effective moisturisers available for mature, dry and dehydrated skin. Additionally, the cream contains lanolin alcohol, which softens the skin and helps to smooth and fill in the appearance of fine lines and surface wrinkles. The combination of all these ingredients makes NIVEA cream the ideal partner for baking soda in this ritual, because what the baking soda opens up and prepares, the NIVEA cream deeply nourishes and restores. So let's walk through the actual ritual step by step, because the technique matters just as much as the ingredients themselves. Begin by washing your hands gently with lukewarm water. Avoid using hot water because hot water strips the skin of its natural oils and leaves it even drier than before. Pat your hands dry with a soft towel but leave them very slightly damp. You don't want them soaking wet, but a little residual moisture actually helps the baking soda work more effectively and reduces the chance of any irritation. Next, take approximately 1 teaspoon of baking soda and place it in the palm of your hand. Add just enough water, 3 or 4 drops, to make a loose paste. If you want to take this ritual to the next level, you can replace the water with a small amount of rose water or aloe vera gel, both of which have soothing and anti-inflammatory properties that complement the exfoliation beautifully. Take this paste and begin to massage it gently onto the backs of both hands using small circular movements. Do not scrub aggressively. This is not about force, it's about consistency and gentleness. Work the paste into the skin for about 60 seconds on each hand, paying special attention to areas where the skin tends to feel the roughest, such as the knuckles and the areas around the thumb. Then rinse thoroughly with lukewarm water and pat dry again. Now comes the most critical step, and this is where most women make a small but significant error. The NIVEA cream must be applied within 30 seconds of rinsing off the baking soda. This is because freshly exfoliated, slightly damp skin is in its most receptive state. The surface barrier has been gently cleared, the pores are open, and the skin is ready to absorb everything you put on it. If you wait too long, the skin begins to dry out and contract, and you lose that precious window of maximum absorption. So immediately after patting your hands dry, take a generous amount of NIVEA cream, not a thin layer, but a genuinely generous application, and massage it into the backs of your hands, your fingers, your knuckles and your wrists. Use slow, firm upward strokes toward your wrists, because this kind of directional massage also stimulates circulation in the area, which encourages better blood flow and helps nutrients reach the skin cells more efficiently. Allow the cream to absorb fully. On days when you're going to bed, you can apply an extra thick layer and wear a pair of lightweight cotton gloves overnight. This turns the ritual into an intensive overnight treatment, and the results after consistent use of this overnight technique are remarkable. The occlusive environment created by the gloves traps the cream against the skin and forces deeper absorption, leaving your hands noticeably softer, plumper, and more supple by morning. This overnight approach is something that dermatologists have recommended for years for extremely dry and aging hands, and when you combine it with the preparatory exfoliation from the baking soda, you're working with a genuinely powerful system. Now, one very important thing I want to address is the role of sun protection. Because if you're not protecting your hands from UV exposure, you are fighting an uphill battle, no matter what treatment you use. Sun damage is responsible for a significant portion of what we see as hand aging, the dark spots, the thinning skin, the loss of elasticity. UV radiation breaks down collagen, triggers the overproduction of melanin that causes age spots, and damages the structural integrity of the skin over time. So in addition to this NIVEA and baking soda ritual, I want you to commit to applying a broad spectrum SPF 30 or higher sunscreen to your hands every single morning and reapplying it whenever your hands get wet throughout the day. This single habit, more than almost anything else, will slow down the visible aging of your hands going forward. Speaking of habits, let's talk about diet and hydration for a moment, because what's happening on the inside of your body is reflected on the outside of your skin. Dehydration is one of the most common and most underappreciated contributors to dry, wrinkled, crepey hand skin. When your body is not getting enough water, it prioritizes hydration for your vital organs, and the skin, particularly the skin on your extremities like your hands, gets whatever is left over, which is often not enough. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water per day, and more if you're drinking caffeinated beverages or living in a hot or dry climate. From a nutritional standpoint, there are several key nutrients that directly support skin health and collagen production. Vitamin C is one of the most important because it's an essential cofactor in the body's collagen synthesis process. Without adequate vitamin C, your body cannot produce collagen efficiently no matter how many topical treatments you apply. Citrus fruits, bell peppers, strawberries and leafy greens are all excellent sources. Vitamin E is another critical one. It's a fat-soluble antioxidant that protects the skin from oxidative damage, supports the lipid barrier, and works synergistically with vitamin C. Nuts, seeds and avocados are rich in vitamin E. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, flax seeds and walnuts help to maintain the fluidity and integrity of cell membranes, which keep skin cells plump and hydrated from the inside out. And zinc, found in legumes, nuts and whole grains, plays a key role in skin repair and regeneration. There are also a few common mistakes I want to make sure you're aware of and actively avoiding. The first is washing your hands with very hot water and harsh soaps multiple times per day. If you've been in the habit of using antibacterial soap or any soap that creates that tight, dry feeling after washing, it's time to switch. Look for gentle, fragrance-free hand washes that contain moisturizing ingredients like glycerin or shea butter. The second common mistake is skipping moisturizer after washing. Every single time your hands get wet, whether from washing dishes, washing your hands, or even just rinsing them under the tap, you need to reapply moisturizer. Water paradoxically dries out the skin by pulling natural oils away from the surface as it evaporates. So every washing event is an opportunity to reapply your NIVEA cream and keep that moisture barrier intact. The third mistake is being inconsistent with the ritual. You will not see dramatic results from doing this once or twice. Consistency is everything when it comes to skincare. Commit to the baking soda exfoliation once or twice per week and to applying NIVEA cream daily. And after 4 to 6 weeks of consistent use, you will begin to see a meaningful difference in the texture, smoothness and overall appearance of your hands. The results you can realistically expect from this ritual. Practice consistently over time includes significantly softer and smoother skin texture, a visible reduction in the roughness and dryness that often accompanies aging hands, a gradual improvement in the appearance of fine lines and surface wrinkles as the skin becomes better hydrated and plumped, and a healthier, more even skin tone as the regular exfoliation prevents the build-up of dead cells that make the skin look dull and patchy. Over time, with the added protection of daily sunscreen, you may also notice that existing dark spots begin to fade slightly, and new ones are less likely to form. Your hands have worked hard for you for over 6 decades. They've cooked meals, held children, built careers, and taken care of everyone around you. Now it's time to give them the care and attention they deserve. And the beautiful thing is that you don't need expensive treatments or complicated routines to do it. You just need 2 simple ingredients, a little knowledge, and the consistency to show up for yourself every week. To bring everything together, the combination of baking soda's gentle exfoliating action and NIVEA cream's deep moisturizing and barrier restoring properties creates a genuinely effective anti-aging ritual for the hands. Pair it with daily sun protection, proper hydration, a nutrient-rich diet and gentle cleansing habits, and you have a complete, sustainable approach to keeping your hands looking and feeling their best well into your 60s, 70s and beyond. If you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video, give this one a like so more women can find it, and drop a comment below telling me what topic you'd like me to cover next. I read every single one, and your questions and suggestions shape what we explore together here.